I love reading a good article, and I was reading the Investopedias top 6 marriage killing, which is such a dramatic title if we're talking about it. But it's the marriage killing money issues. So let's talk about it. Hey guys, it's your girl Jackie coming at you with Money Talk, where we discuss debt, investing, and personal finance stuff. For today, as mentioned in the intro, we were talking about Investopedia's top 6 marriage killing money issues. Sorry, forgot to give credit where credit is due. This was an article that is available on Investopedia's website, which I will go ahead and link in the description box for you. And it's by James McWhinney. Just such a cute last name, McWhinney. Reminds me of Winnie the Pooh. But anyway, I'll link it in the description box for you. Let's move on, shall we? Number 1 is the concept of not mine, not yours, but ours. This is a big one. I'm a big fan of this podcast called DIY Money. And definitely the one thing that they talk about a lot in terms of relationships and money is that a lot of people have a really hard time with this concept of ours. Now, this is specifically in regards to people who are married to one another, but I would say that it probably also applies if you're in any type of a domestic relationship situation where you're living together, or maybe you've just been together for a million years. So even if you're not married, that's okay. But either way, if you're in a serious relationship with an individual and you guys are living together and committed to each other, definitely you have to take on the attitude of it's ours, whatever it is, whether it be debt or financial hardships or issues. There has to be a sense of togetherness as opposed to,
oh, you lost your job, that's a you problem.
The top questions that you should be asking your partner if you're dating, and definitely asking far in advance, before you even get married to a person or move with a person or whatever. But asking in advance, do you have debt? How much debt do you have? What is your financial situation? All of these are such important questions, because once you kind of decide that you want to be an item and you get married and you're together, it becomes an us problem. It's not a one person versus the other. So definitely that is the number one issue as per this article. The second main issue, marriage killing money issue, is debt. Debt can be a really, really hard one. And also it kind of depends on the situation, whether it be maybe one individual is bringing debt into the relationship when you're first getting married and the other person doesn't have it, maybe that other person is feeling some type of way. Or is it the type of situation where maybe both of you started with no debt, but one particular person has more of a spending type of mindset versus the other person is more of a saver? That can be really, really hard too, because if you're both working hard towards your financial goals and one person just really likes to rack up the credit card bills and spend a lot and is incurring a lot of debt, it can be really, really frustrating. So definitely the recommendation for this one is to just keep communication lines open and hold each other accountable. You guys should have joint goals. You should have goals that you're both working toward together. And so that way, when one person is kind of out of line and out of pocket and doing their own thing, you can remind them, hey, listen, this isn't part of our plan that we put together. But yeah, number 2 was debt. The number 3 marriage killing money issue was personality differences. This one, again, akin to the last one, very, very hard. When one person kind of wants to save or wants to do whatever, and the other person just wants to live for today and spend every single dollar that comes in through the door, it can be really, really tricky. On the other side, right, because it's not just one is better than the other, we also have situations where the saver is kind of like too much of a saver and they want to penny pinch every single penny and not spend money on absolutely anything. That can be really hard too. So definitely whatever it is, I would recommend having conversations, keeping those communication lines open, guys, very early on, just so that your partner knows where it is that you're coming from. And definitely I would also say a big important piece to this would be when you have conversations, try to come from it from a non-judgmental, super neutral side. You know, don't come at the person so that they can automatically become defensive or whatever. Don't come at them like you're blaming them or you're yelling at them or whatever. Like, it has to feel like a communication. Number 4 in their top marriage killing money issues is the power play. And we had kind of talked about this in the last video that I had posted, and it was basically in regards to when one individual in the relationship makes more money than one individual, does that give that particular person the right to make all of the financial decisions? In my opinion, no. But I also think that it's really important for you to have that conversation with your partner and kind of talk it out. Just because one person makes more money than the other, or maybe one person is a stay-at-home parent because you guys have kids and the other has to work, it does not mean that the working person has all of the power on where it is that the money goes. This is a relationship. This is you guys working together. So definitely that whole power play situation of I make more or I'm bringing in the income or whatever and you have no say, very toxic. Very, very toxic. A no-no. Number 5 in the marriage killing money issues is kids. Kids. I talk about this all the time because those little boogers are expensive. Children can be expensive, and sometimes you don't even realize it until they're there and you're like, wow, you're expensive. So definitely those extra expenses can put a strain on a relationship, like for real. So definitely my recommendation for dealing with expenses relating to kids is to definitely come together, decide what is important versus what is not, and see if you can come together in terms of solutions for saving when it comes to your children, right? Like, if daycare is extravagantly expensive, can one partner work weird hours so that they can watch the kids while the other partner is working in the daytime and then they switch off? Like, you know, you come together to find a solution as opposed to just losing your minds over it, for sure. But definitely kids, very expensive. And so that is number 5 on our list. And the last money killing marriage issue that we find is going to be extended family. Oh, I have a whole video coming up on this one, so get excited about it. But definitely this is one that many people have issues with because it's hard. It's so hard. You know, we love our families and it can get so tricky when maybe your in-laws or whatever the case may be need a lot of support, whether that be financial support or emotional support. It can definitely get really hard. So definitely extended family is a top issue amongst married couples. I would definitely recommend, as with anything, you know, just communicating with one another on what it is that is important. And we're going to talk about this as mentioned in a future video, but don't be afraid to set boundaries. You know, whatever's going to allow you to sleep at night, you should definitely be doing that. But don't be afraid to set boundaries so that you don't feel like another individual is coming in on your house and on your relationship and walking all over you. And this is in regards to money, in regards to your home, in regards to how you raise your kids, whatever. So definitely that was their number 6. And guys, that was it. I hope you found today's video to be interesting. I certainly did enjoy reading through this article and just thinking about all of the things that they mentioned, for sure. Definitely, if you liked it, be sure to give me a like and be sure to subscribe to my channel if you're not currently subscribed. If you want additional content similar to what we covered today, then be sure to check me out on focusedfrugalfab.com. And I will see you guys on the next video. Bye.